So this topic is an overview of the past holidays. There was a big gap in between this video and the last one. So the last one was all about the power of forgiveness. It was like right after Yom Kippur, or right before Yom Kippur, I believe. And it was all about like forgiving is totally separate than being on good terms with somebody. You can be on good terms with somebody, but and not forgive them, but or you can forgive them and not be on good terms with them and like invite them and do all these things. Obviously, I think it should be a goal that you should be able to be that forgiving that you can be on good terms with them. But obviously, it's more difficult. It's extremely difficult. It's not something easy to do. And in the last video, I like made that really clear, at least in the class. I'm not sure if in the video that like I had a specific scenario and I was like, I really wish I can get to that point. I don't know how I can get to that point, but I wish for it, like going into the holiday. And we had goals. Like I had a plan. Me and 8 friends, like 10 friends actually, were going to go to Crown Heights for New York. Right? I was planning on this trip for like over a year since my surgery, and the goal was like I wanted to be able to dance and sing and everything at the like for the holiday when we go on this trip. But the problem was I was obviously like at a recovery time of 9 months walking, and I made a deal with Hashem. As I stated, I don't know if I stated in the last video, but I stated in the class. I made a deal with Hashem that if I could walk by my birthday, which was 3 months after my surgery, with no assistance, no anything, that I would forgive everybody. Like everybody that's ever wronged me in my life. I would completely forgive them. It's like a clean slate on everything. Again, doesn't mean I'm on good terms with them. I just forgive them in my heart. And I was able to walk. Thank God, by some miracle, I was able to walk with no assistance, no anything by my birthday. So I felt like I had to hold up my end of the deal with Hashem. So I did. In my heart, I forgave everybody. Doesn't mean I'm going to reach out to them and let them know I forgive them. It's more like if they were to reach out to me, I'm more than happy to talk and be okay with them. And I stated that like I wish I can get to that level of being chill with them and hang out with them and talk with them on a regular basis and this and that. But obviously, like that's a whole different thing. That takes a lot more. So the holiday came and we were all planning this trip to Crown Heights. I was super excited because this is the first trip I'm able to make now that I'm healed up and everything. And we go there, all 10 friends. We arrange carpool, this and that, everything. We get to the airport, we get on the flight. Flight's going well, everything's going well, thank God. And then they're like, oh, weather. There's a weather delay in New York. There's like a bad weather in New York. They have to like reroute, so they're gonna just refuel, like add fuel. So it was 2 hours delayed. Again, I'm thinking, you know what, whatever. It's just gonna make the trip even better. And then we're going. 2 hours later, we are about to land. It's like 20 minutes out from New York. All of a sudden, the flight attendant or the captain, gets on the speaker and is like, "Oh, the flight, the weather is like really bad." Weather wasn't bad. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. We looked out the window. We took pictures. The weather was fine, but they're like, the weather's so bad that the airport is closed, like completely shut down. So they're not taking us in. So we have to fly all the way back to Fort Lauderdale. I was like, bro, there's no way this is happening. Super bummed out, just like really annoyed. I just put my headphones in and started listening to music. I was just like really, really, really frustrated. And again, I haven't felt this frustrated in a long time. Like I don't really get frustrated. I don't really get upset even. But this one was, I don't know, this one was like really hit like a nerve. I was just like really bummed out. I was like, what the heck? And a whole trip. The fact was, the trip was outrageous. We spent a total of 9 hours sitting on the plane. It did not go well. 9 hours just to sit and get off exactly where we started. Like we didn't even go on the trip. I was super bummed out. I was like, you know what? I'll drive there. I don't care. Like I'm going on this trip. And everyone else is just like, yo, mate, you know, it's not a big deal, this and that. But then they're like, the way I was looking at it is like, it's not a big deal to them because like they have family, they have all this stuff that they can do, they have other options. To me, it's like, this was it. Like, what am I gonna do? Spend the holiday alone? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was just really counting on this trip. I was like, this is the trip, and I was like, there's no way this trip's not happening. There's no way. So I was looking at this. It turns out we ended up just going for Shabbat. For Shabbat, we went to Orlando. This program, very welcoming people, opened up their doors for us to come. So we went there, me and a friend, went there for like just Shabbat. We went there, got there Friday. We left Friday morning. We came back Saturday night because we had a Sunday night rebooking flight a Sunday afternoon flight that was being like rebooked. So we've come all the way back down and everything. Again, this is going back to the whole forgiveness thing. Is I said at the end of the class last time, the last time I gave the class for the power of forgiveness, I stated how like I wanted to get to a level that I can be chill and sit face to face with somebody that I thought I would never talk to again. And it turns out it was this person's birthday, and I was like, and it was on Saturday, Shabbat. Shabbat was their birthday, and I get a text message saying that it's this person's birthday. You should really like, hey, maybe you want to like send them call them or send them a text. And I was like, oh, I'd call them, but like I'm with a friend, and I'm sure this conversation would be long, so let me just send them a text. Sent them a text, wish them happy birthday and everything. And they called me. They gave me a call, and it's like, oh, I'm going to this and this place tomorrow to celebrate my birthday. It would be really nice if you can come. And then I'm thinking, whoa, this is all making sense now. This is really making sense because like I'm coming back from Orlando Saturday night, and they're meeting at like 11 a.m. the next morning on Sunday, and the flight is at 4. So I was like, I can technically make it beforehand. So I was like, okay, sure, let me see if I can make it on time. Depends on how much how I wake up, because again, we left at like midnight. It's about 2.5 hours to come back, so I'm going to sleep at like 3ish, 4ish, and then wake up and get there by like 11, do all the stuff, repack, all this stuff. Turns out I went there, person was super emotional, very nice. It was very just nice, you know, like it was a very relieving feeling to be able to sit in front of this person that I never thought I'd talk to again. As much as I wished I could, I didn't think it was realistic. And there I am sitting in front of them talking, everything's fine, everything's good. And then to realize that like, yeah, it costed us our flight, you know, like this trip didn't go the way we planned, didn't really end up happening at all. But the fact is, it meant a lot more because of the fact that I went through all these struggles, drove 3 hours to Orlando, then drove back, met with them, made it for their birthday. It meant a lot to them. And it was just like, you know what, like, at the end of the day, I'm on good terms with them and everything's fine. I can sit with them, I can go for a meal with them right now. I can send them a text and know that they'll answer. And it was just like a nice feeling to be like, you know what, at the end of the day, all this was a crazy traumatizing trip experience. And I was super bummed out about it. Not mad, but more like bummed out, because again, I was waiting a whole entire, I like went through a lot of therapy, did all these, worked on myself a lot to be able to qualify for this trip, to make this trip, and then the trip ends up getting canceled the way it did. It was very frustrating, and it all made sense because of the fact that I got what I wanted at the end of the, like, in the class last week. I made it very clear what I wanted. I said I want to be able to get to that level. I don't know how, but that's what I really wish I can get to that level. And then exactly a week later, the trip is canceled, this, that, all these things go negatively, that I think is negatively, just to find out like I got what I wanted. I got this level that I never thought I'd get to, ended up happening. And it just shows like sometimes you need to have dirt thrown on you. Like people are so scared of dirt, like, oh my god, it makes me dirty, this and that, but it's like not a good feeling. But you need to have dirt thrown on you, because if you take a seed and you throw it on a sidewalk, it's not doing anything. It's not doing anything. It's just gonna die, it'll get smushed, it'll get crumbled, nothing's gonna come about it. If you throw some dirt on it, give it some water, give it some light, it'll grow into a flower, you know? And we are that seed. And when God throws us the dirt, don't just look at it like he's throwing us dirt. Start taking the other factors like the sun and the weather and rain and put it all together, and that's like your surroundings and people around you, all these different things. Nothing's by chance. You meet somebody, there's a reason you met this person. You hear something you were meant to hear it. You see something, you were meant to see it. It's like all those effects play a role. If you just take them and combine them all, you'll see them all come out like a flower. Because again, dirt is not enough to make a flower. The seed isn't enough. It's the factors of everything. You need some water, light, seed, dirt. You need all those, you know? So that was like pretty much what it was about. It was about the fact that I didn't feel this low in such a long time, and I wanted a goal of something deep down. And when Hashem sees you want to go for something, He's gonna make it happen. It's going to happen. It might be some road bumps ahead, but the road bumps are leading you to it to be even more grateful for it. And that's what this past class was. It was obviously, again, it was deeper in person, but that's just the quick summary of it.